Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. My name is Diana and I am a transformational life coach and a tarot reader. And I am here to assist you on your journey of spiritual growth and personal development. And today we are going to be doing another pick a card tarot reading dedicated to a message: what is your spiritual challenge? So let us take a look at our spiritual challenges today and see what is going on and how can we grow spiritually. Okay? But before we go on and I show you the selection of tarot decks so that you can pick the one that speaks the most to you, I encourage you to take some time, ground yourself, take a deep breath in, and pause a little bit just to connect with that deeper place within where all the answers lie, so that you can really get the best results out of this tarot reading. And also, if you would like to book a private tarot reading with me, then all the details are down in the description box. But now let's go ahead and take a look at the tarot cards. These are the decks that you can choose from to see what is your spiritual challenge. So this is deck number 1, this is deck number 2, deck number 3, and this one is deck number 4. So do take your time and choose wisely, and take a look at the description for the timestamps to find your reading. Hello there again. So you are here if you picked the first tarot deck, which is the Stokes Gothic Tarot. To save time, I have already shuffled the cards and laid them out. And today I will be using the so-called arrow spread, which is basically a spread that is designed in a shape of a tip of the arrow, and it is supposed to show you the direction from the past to the future, also touching the present moment. So this is what we are going to do for you today to get some insight into your spiritual challenges, group number 1. And I will also be having one card from the Oracle deck, just for additional clarity. Okay, so where are you currently regarding your spiritual challenge, spiritual development? And you have the Three of Wands. So you could be pretty, I would say, on board with the spiritual development, because the Three of Wands is a card of progress. Something has been done, some investments has been already made, and you are currently waiting for return. You are looking forward to see the results of your past effort, and you also feel pretty positive and excited about the present moment. That is how the energy of the Three of Wands feels like. It's like building upon foundation that you have already established sometime in the past. We will look at the past in a moment. And it is really embracing what is to come, because you have sort of opened a channel for new energies to come to you. On the other hand, group number 1, you could be struggling a little bit to see the results of your effort. It could be that for some reason you have certain expectations, but then you don't really see them coming to fruition, and you may be a little bit frustrated, and maybe you have lost your direction. Once you knew it, you were certain that this is the right path for you to go down to, but currently, if you are more on a shadow side of this Three of Wands energy, you could be feeling stuck and confused and really lost, and you don't know which way to go and whether what you have done is really the right thing for you, and whether it will ever take you somewhere where some resolution is possible at all. So you could also be a little bit frustrated regarding that, or even more than a little bit. It again depends on you guys individually. So you could be in a position to reevaluate your current situation, to really ask those questions. What is the truth? What is my truth? What is the meaning of all this? What am I supposed to learn from this? And it could be that point in your journey when you really need to step up your game. But in order to do that, there has to be some kind of inner shift, inner transformation that takes place through you asking those big questions that we all need to ask at some point of our journeys. What is the meaning, the purpose of the whole thing? What is my lesson here? What is it that I'm getting out of this? And what is it that I want? What does it mean about me and my own spiritual development? What is my purpose? Ultimately, that is something that we all strive to connect to, our soul's purpose, so that we can start living our most authentic lives, right? Group number 1. So, when it comes to your past, what has taken you to this point is the Chariot and the Six of Wands. So this is indeed a very powerful energy, very action-oriented energy, because the Chariot, it's a major arcana card that indicates progress, movement, really getting things done. It's very dynamic. It could also indicate like an actual journey, an actual trip that you have been on. And the Six of Wands is the card of the victory. So either that was something in your mind when you were engaging on this path, on this journey, or the reason why you did that, why you stepped onto this path, is because you had some great results before and you want to up level your life and the way you are right now regarding your spiritual development. So it's like, it feels like you have pretty serious ambition here. And again, this is a general reading, so the cards could be reversed. They could be more on a shadow aspect of that. And if that's the case, then you could have a little bit of a trouble with your ego. Because the Six of Wands is a card of recognition, and you could be driven by being recognized, by that, but the feeling that everybody knows you and you are somebody, you have become somebody, you are respected. And in and of itself, it is not a bad desire, of course. It is a completely valid desire that we all have. We all want to be appreciated and recognized. What does matter here, though, is that you are aware of your ego, because the ego has so many ways to trick us, and maybe you are sort of manipulating your way to that growth, spiritual growth and recognition. And what I mean by that is that you are not being honest with yourself. Maybe you say one thing to yourself and to others, but then there is something completely else going on your subconscious side. Because the Chariot, it also requires you to have that, to tame your inner demons so that you can progress. This is not an easy path. This is not an easy journey with the Chariot card. You need to put in the blood, sweat, and tears in order to succeed. And most of the time, our greatest battles are the ones that we have with ourselves. We face our fear, we fight our demons, we fight our ego. And in time, we are able to get to that place where we are able to become humble, when we release all all the ego expectations of how things should be for us. And once it happens, it is when all the blocks are being removed from our path and we can move on again. The path is now free for us to grow, to expand, and to really get the results that we desire. So you need to take a look, an honest look at your life and see what is your case. Either you are very consciously driven on your path, group number one, or is there something that you don't want to admit to, something that needs your attention, something that might not be so pleasant to look at. So being radically honest is important here, because this is a pretty powerful energy that you have brought about, group number one. And your future outcome, or the direction that you are headed towards, is the Eight of Swords. So indeed, I think there is something going on for you, because something you don't want to connect to right away. It's a challenge. It's a challenge. It's a lesson for you, because the Eight of Swords is this card of a victimhood. You need to move through and past your fear of something. You are more powerful than you think you are. There is no need to take any manipulative activities. There is no need to lie to yourself and to others if that's what you are doing, even if you don't want to admit to that. It is safe to be honest, and it is safe to be you. It is safe to step into your authentic power, group number one. But there is just something about you that you need to get over. That fear that was a part of you, such a big part of you in the past. You want to push through that, but you need to really examine that and work with that fear, so that you can really leave those shackles behind and set yourself free. This is all for you. You can get that. You can be free. Just revisit your old fear, revisit your old self, revisit that prison that you were once in. Because you may still be in that prison. It is still a part of you, and it wants you to see it and to work through it. And then you can go on expanding your horizons and growing spiritually. Okay, and now one final message from the Oracle deck to wrap this all up. Okay, here we have you have the card sensuality. Express your sensuality. It is what the card says. And I think what it means in this case is really getting in touch with your energy, group number one. So this is about being more in a present moment and enjoying yourself, enjoying how you feel in that moment, how your body feels, and really being very connected to the flow of energy through your body. And how does it tie together with your message here? I think it might be something that is missing currently for you, because you could be so goal-oriented on one hand, or if you are coming from a shadow aspect of this reading, you could be living in fear, and you could be maybe frustrated and having low self-confidence. So how you change all that, how you balance this all out and really work through your mental barriers and open that path up for you to expand, it is coming back to your body, how it feels when you embrace your body and the energy flow through it, grounding yourself, enjoying things that makes you feel good physically, all the physical aspects of life. And by being more grounded and being more present into your body, you are also being more present into the moment and more capable of creation. Okay, so this is my message for you, group number 1. I hope that it helped and was useful for you. Bye bye. Hi there again, group number 2. So this is your tarot reading regarding your spiritual challenge. And I have already shuffled the cards and laid them out. And today I am going to be using a spread that I call the arrow spread, which is designed as a tip of the arrow. And this spread basically shows the movement from the past to the future and also visiting the present moment. So this is what we are going to be doing for you today regarding your spiritual challenge. And also I will be having one card from the Oracle deck for additional clarity. Okay, so what is going on for you currently regarding your spiritual challenge? And here you have the trust. This is, in my opinion, an absolutely amazing card to have as your spiritual challenge, because when it comes to spiritual growth and development, at one point we do feel that it is time to take that leap of faith. And that is precisely what this card talks about trusting something you don't see, something you don't know, but you have such a huge belief, such a firm belief in your heart that you are able to take that leap of faith. Despite your fear, despite the uncertainty, despite the unknown, despite the fact that you have no idea where you will land, you can still do that. Or maybe you feel that this is something that's coming up for you, something that you should consider. You've been pulled into some unknown direction and you feel deep down that this is the right way for you to go, the right thing for you to do, but then something is still holding you back. You could be still plugged into your fear too much, and you could be still working on that, on resolving those issues and really trusting that listening to your heart is the right thing to do. So whatever is your situation, depending on who you are, and whatever is happening in your life currently with regards to your spirituality, you are called to jump into the unknown, to just do it without thinking much. If you think you will never do that, you will hesitate, you will never do that. This is the time to answer your heart's calling. Just go with it without thinking of what's coming next, because the path of our heart is always full of surprises and it unfolds as you go. That is something that you always need to keep in mind. It will unfold as you go. The past, though, what has brought you here? You have the guilt, and you also have the participation. So with the guilt card, you must have been through some rough period. There could have been something in your life that has been really challenging for you. It's like sometimes our thoughts, our attitude towards certain situations and things that happen to us is the one that can be really, really torturous, because we might hold certain standards for ourselves. And sometimes we come into conflict with those standards, with our morality, with our heart even. we feel that we let ourselves down or that we let others down. And we start to feel bad about ourselves. And that is that mental torture, that is a place that is so hard to be in. Because once we are there and once we are paying such a close attention to what's going on in our head, we fail to appreciate the beauty of life that is still available to us. It is still all around us, but we don't feel deserving of that because we are sort of punishing ourselves. Sometimes we don't even need to be punished by others. We punish ourselves because we know that we have crossed a line. And if we don't question the line, if we don't work with that, if we don't integrate the negative emotions, it's really very hard for us to not get lost into this dark place of our head. But that's something that has happened to you in the past. So I do have a feeling that you are moving away from it. You are coming out of it. And that's why you are looking forward to that new and fresh beginning. Because you also have the participation. And I think this is about stepping up your game in terms of living a more purposeful life. How can I contribute? How can I be of service? How can I take part in this bigger scheme of things, and where do I belong there? Because you do belong there. We all have our place that is designated for us and only us. And if we are able to find that and do our part, some beautiful, beautiful things start to happen for us in our lives. So it does seem that there has been an opportunity of sorts, or you have heard your heart's calling, as I already mentioned with this trust card. Something inside you is calling to jump into that unknown. And maybe with this participation card, with this energy, things have started to move for you, and you have now saw that this could be the way out of this, that this is the solution, or that it could be a solution. And now it takes you even further, and now you need to take on even more risk and really leave your fear behind. So that could be your spiritual challenge, to find that trust within, to believe in something you cannot touch, you cannot see, to believe in the existence of that goodness that is there for you, that you need to follow, so that you can truly express your potential in a manner that is really expansion oriented. And if we take a look at the future, so where are you headed? Then you have the adventure. So some new and fantastic things are coming your way. Group number 2, or to be more precise, you are creating that for yourself. It's not that they are coming, because if you don't take that leap of faith, nothing will change. You could stay on that threshold between the old and the new, between your old self, your old pain, your old thoughts, and this new thing that you are feeling in your heart. If you don't take that step further and don't embrace the journey, don't go all in, most likely nothing will change. But with the adventure here, it is really diving deep into the unknown. There is no fear. There is absolutely no fear now, because you approach this journey from such a pure perspective that you just live in the present moment and enjoy what comes your way every single day. You co-create your experience as you go. And it's such a lovely and exciting thing to be, because you feel like you are reborn. If you've been stagnant, then this is something that brings you back to life. You are able to remember how it was when you were a child and you were playing, and every day was a new discovery for you. You discovered something new and it was so exciting. So this is that type of energy that you could find yourself in if only you trust your heart, if only you take that leap of faith. Then this is indeed a journey of beautiful exploration that will help you connect with your higher self, with your higher purpose, and develop spiritually. And let me also have, okay, an oracle card, and it jumped right out, and you won't believe it, but it says take a leap of faith. It's the Dove card, the innocence, the childlike attitude. So you have like a confirmation that indeed, go for it, take that leap of faith. Don't hesitate, don't let your old fear and pain hold you back, because it's gone, it's over. You are ready to participate in creating something wonderful, in creating your miracle life. So group number 2, I'm very excited about you, and I truly wish you to have the courage to do that, because trust me, it will be the most rewarding journey you will ever take in your life. Trust your heart, because you never know what comes up, and nothing endangers you when you are on your heart's path. Yes, of course, there will be a lot of challenges and difficulties and problem solving, and it will be the most uncertain thing you will ever do. But it is something that is really worth doing. And you will find yourself happy if you take that leap of faith. So group number 2, this is your message and your spiritual challenge. As I said, I truly wish you courage to listen to this calling, to answer it and go for it, whatever it is that your heart desires. Okay, so I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye. Hi there again. This is your reading if you picked the 3rd tarot deck, which is the Raven's Prophecy Tarot. And let's take a look at your spiritual challenge. I will be using the so-called arrow spread, which is a spread that is designed as a tip of the arrow in order to show you the movement from the past to the future through the present moment with regards to your spiritual challenge. And also I will be having one card from the oracle deck for additional guidance. Okay, so let me see. What is your present situation? You have the Page of Coins. So something is sprouting. When it comes to your spiritual development and your spiritual challenge, group number 3, this card, the Page of Coins, could indicate that you are at the very beginning of your journey. Maybe you have started to think about spiritual things and about spiritual development only recently, and you have taken your baby steps towards developing yourself spiritually. Or this could be a start of a new chapter for you. Maybe you have done something already in the past. You have had some results, and now you want to increase your spiritual capabilities or connection with your spirit realm even more. And this is an indication of that new journey, new chapter that you have just started, group number 3. Because the Page of Coins, it really indicates the beginning stages of something. And with it, it brings all the emotions that normally come with starting something new. So there could be excitement for that. You could be really riding the wave and feeling excited, and this is something that I want to do. These are my goals. So you could be planning your path, you could be setting goals, you could be applying to courses and taking like traveling to places where you can grow more spiritually. You could be maybe introducing some practices in your life like meditation and journaling and mindfulness and all those kinds of things that can help you grow spiritually. But also what could be true about the early stages of something is frustration, not being able to see your results yet, and this feeling that you are about to give up, that this may not be for you. Maybe you are just trying it out, testing it and seeing whether it is something that you can use or not. So this is a general reading, so it will be different for each and every one of you, but the common theme here is the early journey. You need to learn, you need to grow a lot, you need to try and test many different new things, and some of them will work, some of them won't. Some of you will stick to this, some of you won't. That is your spiritual challenge, and you need to find your own answers and you need to check it out yourself. In the past, however, you have the 7 of coins and Ace of Cups. So, with the 7 of coins, this is a card of longevity and something that grows in a very long term. But the problem with that is that sometimes it could be too long. It could take too long. And then you start to question, is this really the right thing for me to do? And are the rewards that I'm about to reap worth it? Maybe I need to change something. Maybe I need to look at something from a different perspective. But maybe you are already reaping some sort of rewards. As I said, some of you might have a new chapter opening up. And this card then could indicate those past efforts of yours and that harvest that you have already had. So maybe you are too fed up with the mundane. That could also be something. And you want to, maybe that's the case for those of you who are just starting out on your spiritual journey. And that's your challenge. You are just starting out. Because the 7 of coins could be too down to earth, too hard. So you need to work hard. And then you start to question, why am I really doing that? What is the purpose? Is there any higher purpose? Is that all there is? So I wake up every morning, I go to work, I come back home, I go back to bed and repeat and die after a while. Is that really the meaning of life? Is that really the meaning of my life? So again, it depends on you individually, but the Ace of Cups is also here, and this card indicates that moment when finally something in your heart opens up and speaks to you, and you feel, yes, this is it. This is what I want. This is finally what I want. I don't know how, but I feel drawn to that thing, and I feel attracted to something and I want to try it out. And the mixture of those two energies have brought you to this little sprout here, and you are looking forward to grow something spiritually. And let's take a look at the future, where it takes you. Interesting. So you have the Seven of Swords. So even though up to this point it seems pretty straightforward and pretty, that's normal, that is how things usually are. These are all the things that we deal whenever we start off, and we sometimes feel good, sometimes we feel bad. But the Seven of Swords is a very tricky card. It is about deceit and also betrayal and denial. So when it comes to your spiritual challenge, group number 3, it's very important that you are able to know what is true and what is false, because there could be something, and since this is another 7, like the 7 of coins, I kind of feel that these two cards are connected. And this past frustration that you may have had, what has opened up something in your heart in the first place, and what has initiated this journey for you in the first place. Something from the past, it's still like, it's like a shadow that's lingering around, and you have not left it behind. It is still with you, and your challenge will be to work through it and resolve it if you ever want to progress on your spiritual path. So with the Seven of Swords, you need to ask, how are you being dishonest with yourself? Let's first start with ourselves. Of course, there could be other people that are doing something for you, other people that you cannot trust. But before we even go there, it's very important that we are in touch with our own inner truth. Because if you are super clear about your truth, it's very hard to do something to you. You will spot the lies right away. You won't fall into trap of any kind, because you will be able to know what is good and what is bad for you, and you will choose wisely. You will have that ability. So the Seven of Swords is an invitation for you to really dig deep for your own truth, what it is that you want, what are your values, what is and what is not acceptable for you. And be very, very honest. Honesty is super important here. Do some shadow work. Really dig deep into those darker places of your soul, and don't be afraid to look into the eyes of those things that you don't want to hold true about yourself. But know that it's a very normal path of our spiritual development. We look into the eyes of our demons and we call them by their name, and that is how we release them eventually. Because otherwise, if we don't do that, if we don't do the shadow work, we end up living false spirituality. We need to let go of those darker aspects, and that is how we set ourselves free. Because the other meaning, the reversed meaning of the Seven of Swords is freedom. You set yourself free. You don't engage in those things anymore. You have gone through that. You have learned your lesson, and now you can move on to something else. So this is your challenge, group number 3. And okay, we have an oracle card to look at. What do you need to know regarding this, group number 3? Well, interesting. but you also have the sensuality card, the same as the group number 1 had. For you, though, I think this is a slightly different twist to the meaning of this card, because yes, indeed, sensuality, and the card says express your sensuality. Indeed, it could be it could be viewed literally, so that you are really in touch with your sensuality, with the pleasures of your body and how you feel in your body, and connecting with the flow of your energy. But sometimes, in the context of your message, group number 3, it does seem that this could be coming from a more shadow aspect. And maybe precisely those sensual pleasures are the ones that are tricking you in some way. Maybe you are a victim of your sensuality in some way, and that is something that is holding you to the past and preventing you from moving forward in your spiritual growth. And here what comes to mind are maybe some unhealthy relationships, maybe some unhealthy habits, like eating too much or like substance abuse. It could play itself out in so many different ways, because you are all different and you all have different stories, but you should be looking forward to express your sensuality in a healthy way. So if you feel that there might be something that is like anchoring you in the past, something you cannot get over, then maybe that is exactly that shadow work you need to do. You need to work on that aspect of yourself in order to accept it radically, make peace with it, and then let it go. And that is how you progress, and that is how you keep growing spiritually. So here you have it, group number 3. This is my message for you. I truly hope you find it helpful, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye. Hello again. This is your reading if you picked the last tarot deck, the Ghost Tarot. And in order to save time, I have already shuffled the cards and laid them out. And I will be using the so-called arrow spread for you today. And this spread is designed like a tip of the arrow, and it moves through time from the past to the future, through the present moment. And we will be looking at your spiritual challenge through this perspective. And also I will be having a card from the Oracle deck to give you an additional guidance. So this is what we are going to do, and let's see your spiritual challenge. What is currently going on? So you have the High Priestess. So actually, this is a very, very spiritual card, and this is, in its purest essence, your intuition, and that sacred wisdom that your intuition holds. So you could be pretty serious about your spiritual growth, group number 4. And when it comes to your spiritual challenge, with this card, it could be that you are looking forward to really get access to that higher wisdom and that higher knowledge, because it's not only about knowing who you are. With the High Priestess energy, it's about accessing the universal knowledge, like Akashic records, the collective consciousness and things like that. So this is a very mystical, very esoterical energy that you have come into contact with. And maybe you feel that you are really called towards those things, and whenever you read something or listen to something along those lines, you feel very attracted to that type of information. Maybe you are looking for those higher answers You are asking deeper questions, and you want to know more. You want to look for the meaning of things, the meaning of life, the meaning of existence while we are here on the planet Earth. It could also be that you are learning to be in touch with your own intuition more. Pay attention to your dreams, meditate, really demystify the symbols of your psyche, because the language of symbols is how your intuition talks to you pretty often. It could be about developing your psychic ability, even reading tarot, even like extrasensory ability. So all those things are or can be true with a high priestess. And again, it depends on you individually. What are your individual journeys and your unique stories and situations? But nevertheless, when it comes to your spiritual development, this is like spirituality itself, the high priestess. So the past, what has brought you here? Okay, another very spiritual card, the Hierophant on one hand, and okay, the Ace of Wands on the other. Something has really sparked your curiosity. Well, to be honest, as I was talking about the High Priestess, I had the Hierophant in my mind, because there is a slight difference between them. The Hierophant could be viewed as the High Priest, basically, but the difference is that he's coming from tradition. He could be like somebody who, like, he could represent an organized religion, that type of thing. He holds very firm beliefs, and he's very, how to say, precise of the workings of his religion, whether it's really an organized religion or something that he personally believes in, no matter the scale of this. But he could be pretty, how to say, living in a box of his own insight onto the spirituality. So he could be channeling the spirituality, which is such a vast and vague concept, through some individual or collective belief system, and interpreting the spirituality in accordance with that system that he's following. The High Priestess, on the other hand, is somebody who is really like, she can access all the information irrespective of whether it belongs to a certain belief system or not. She holds all of it, and she's able to access all of it through the language of symbols. So she's not so much concerned about the rules and what you should do and what practices you should follow and implement. She's more concerned with holding of that knowledge. So it could be that something, you could have been a part of that kind of a belief system regarding spirituality. And it has sparked some very deep interest in you with this Ace of Wands, because this is that spark of curiosity. I want to find out myself. I want to find my own answers. Maybe something doesn't serve you or fit you anymore, or you feel that there should be something more, or maybe you have started to question your old beliefs. Maybe you have started to look for their origins and wonder, where do they come from? How come I believe in the things I believe and then I never question them, and I just take them as the truth? But is that really the truth? The Hierophant does not need to indicate like a religion, being a part of a religion or an organization of a certain belief system. It could be also your own individual beliefs about life, about yourself, about your life's purpose. you want to open it up and see what else is there, because it's not enough to know what you have known up to this point, because you know that there can be something more and you want to access that more. And it's really nice to see how inspired it has made you feel with this Ace of Wands. Or maybe this is exactly what has catalyzed this search, this inner search, because you didn't feel like that in your old belief system. Maybe you felt that, okay, I know everything about that, I know everything about what's going on and what rules I should follow, but it doesn't feel good. It doesn't feel real. And so you are looking for something that feels real regarding your spirituality. And the direction you're headed toward is the King of Wands. So the King of Wands is somebody who is like a visionary, somebody who is a leader and who has a very, very super clear vision of what he wants to create. He is a creator. He's very creative and also very established, and people just cannot help but follow him because of his enthusiasm, his energy, and that direction and purpose that he's able to give to people. And it could represent for you, it could represent, again, depending on who you are, it could represent an actual person. Maybe you find an actual person that really speaks to you spiritually and you want to learn everything you can from that person. Maybe this King of Wands symbolizes another belief system that is more in alignment with your newly discovered truth. Maybe you were a part of, I don't know, Christianity, but now you are converting to, I don't know, Buddhism, for example. Again, it's a very stereotypical example, but it's just to help you understand. Or maybe you have been atheist for the whole of for the majority of your life. And suddenly you have realized that no, there is actually something more. So again, it could play out in many different ways, but your spiritual development seems to be very well established here with these cards. So you could be really, really testing out those new pathways and those new types of beliefs and what they can offer. And your challenge could be really finding the right path, because it is not to say that this is the end of the journey and you find this and you stick with it for the rest of your life. It doesn't mean that at all. It could be a path of trial and error before you are able to come up with what is really yours. Maybe you come up with your own truths. Maybe you become such a spiritual leader yourself, because with the power of the High Priestess, you can do that, definitely, if that's you, if this is your message. So, yes, your challenge is to become more autonomous with regards to your spirituality. Group number 4. And the oracle message. What else do we have for you? You have the card called Legends. Learn from those who inspire you. You see, I think that what it means is what I said, that This could be that spiritual visionary that really inspires you and shows you new direction to head, something that you have never considered before. But through the teachings of this person or this belief system or this religion or whatever it is, you are now being inspired. This is that spark of inspiration. So it doesn't mean that you cannot develop your autonomous belief system and your own spirituality and the way you view those things individually. It doesn't mean that at all. It is just that it is not a solitary path. There are so many people around us, and maybe the legends and the people that can inspire us the most are not necessarily close to spirituality at all. They can be mundane, ordinary people, but they are living their lives in such a beautiful alignment with their soul's purpose, and it flows so beautifully and effortlessly that they just inspire others, including you. So again, do take some time to think about how this message applies to you individually and what it means to you and what can you get out of that. But indeed, this is really a journey of discovering your spirituality, and this is your challenge to be able to do that. Okay, so I'll leave you here, and I hope that you like this message and that it was helpful. Bye bye.